Have you ever felt like you're running on a treadmill that just won't stop? Like no matter how hard you push, no matter how fast you go, you end up exactly where you started, exhausted, stressed, and wondering if there's more to life than this relentless chase. It's a feeling too many of us know all too well, caught in a cycle of constant doing, yet yearning for a moment of genuine peace and fulfillment. What if I told you that the secret to breaking free from this cycle isn't about speeding up, but rather about slowing down, stepping back, and looking inward? Today, we're diving deep into an ancient philosophy that has the power to transform the way you see the world, handle stress, and approach life's challenges. It's about finding strength in stillness, wisdom in silence, and profound happiness in the simplest of moments. If you're tired of the chase and ready to discover a path to true peace and satisfaction, you're in the right place. Stick around, because this might just be the perspective shift you've been waiting for. And hey, before we dive in, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video like it's a hot potato you just can't hold on to. Trust me, watching till the end will give your scroll finger the break it's been begging for and might just change the game for you. No skipping allowed, because every second of this video is like a secret ingredient in your grandma's best recipe. Miss one, and you'll never get the full flavor. 1. The magic of being quiet. Let's talk about something that might seem a bit counterintuitive in our always-on, share-everything world: the magic of being quiet. Now, I know what you might be thinking. In an era where everyone's voice can be amplified across the globe in seconds, why would we ever choose silence? Well, that's exactly where the timeless wisdom of Stoicism comes into play, and trust me, it's more relevant now than ever. Stoicism, this ancient philosophy that's all about resilience, inner peace, and the strength to face life's ups and downs, has this incredible focus on the power of being quiet. It's not about shutting down or stepping back from the world. No, it's about choosing when to engage, how to engage, and doing so with intention. It's like that old saying, "Speak only if it improves upon the silence." Stoics take this to heart, believing that silence isn't the absence of something. It's the presence of everything that truly matters. Now, imagine this. You're in a room full of people, all talking over each other, each trying to be the loudest, the most noticed. It's chaotic, overwhelming, and honestly, how much of that noise is truly meaningful? Now picture someone in that same room who chooses to speak less, but when they do, everyone listens. Their words carry weight, meaning, and impact. That's the magic of being quiet. It's not about never speaking. It's about making your words so full of purpose and wisdom that they cut through the noise like a knife through butter. The Stoics, folks like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, were all about that life. They knew the value of reflection, of taking a step back to observe and listen before jumping into the fray. They were the masters of the internal dialogue, understanding that the most crucial conversations we have are the ones with ourselves. By embracing silence, they were able to connect deeply with their own values, thoughts, and emotions, which in turn made their actions and words all the more powerful. So, why is this ancient practice so darn important today? Because we're drowning in information, in opinions, in the constant barrage of the digital world's demands on our attention. By choosing the path of silence, even just for parts of our day, we give ourselves the chance to breathe, to think, and to truly connect with what's important. It's in those quiet moments that we find clarity, creativity, and most importantly, peace. But don't get me wrong, embracing silence doesn't mean you're sitting in a cave somewhere, disconnected from the world. Far from it. It means you're more selectively engaging with it. You're choosing your battles, your platforms, and your moments to speak with intention. And when you do speak, you're not just adding to the noise, you're providing value, offering insight, and maybe, just maybe, changing someone's day for the better. So, here's a little Stoic challenge for you. Try incorporating a bit more silence into your day, whether it's a quiet morning routine, a tech-free hour in the evening, or just a few moments to breathe and be present. Give silence the space it deserves in your life. You might be surprised at the magic it brings, the creativity it sparks, and the peace it fosters. And remember, in the wise words of Epictetus, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Let's take a cue from our Stoic friends and make our words count, embracing the profound power and magic of being quiet. You're being enough on your own. All right, let's dive into something that really hits home for all of us: emotional engagement. Now, when we chat about Stoicism, you might think it's all about keeping a stiff upper lip, right? But here's the twist. Stoicism isn't about suppressing our emotions. It's about understanding them, engaging with them in a healthy way, and not letting them control our lives. And trust me, in our roller coaster world, that's a superpower worth having. So, imagine you're having one of those days where everything seems to go wrong. Your coffee spills, your emails are a mess, and to top it off, you miss an important call. It's easy to let frustration bubble up and take the driver's seat, leading you down a spiral of negativity. But here's where our Stoic buddies come in with some game-changing advice. They say, hey, it's not the spilled coffee or the messy emails that are the problem. It's how you react to them that matters. Mind-blowing, right? The Stoics, like our pal Seneca or the ever-wise Marcus Aurelius, were all about taking a step back and asking ourselves, why am I letting this affect me so much? They believed in looking at our emotions from the outside, understanding them, and then deciding if they're worth our energy. It's like being the director of your own emotional movie. You get to decide what stays in the script and what gets cut. Now, why is this emotional engagement so crucial? Because it's the key to not just surviving the chaos of life, but thriving in it. When we understand our emotions, we can navigate through tough times with a clarity and calmness that others might find baffling. It's like being in the eye of the storm. Everything around you is wild and whirling, but you're in a state of peace, able to make decisions with a clear head and a steady heart. But here's the real kicker. Stoicism teaches us that this emotional wisdom isn't just for weathering the bad times, it's also for amplifying the good ones. When we're in tune with our emotions, we can fully appreciate the joy, love, and beauty in our lives. It's like turning up the color on a faded photograph. Suddenly, everything is more vibrant, more alive. So, how do we get there? How do we become these emotionally wise, Stoic superheroes? It starts with a simple practice: reflection. Take a moment each day to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? Why are you feeling that way? And most importantly, how do you want to respond to those feelings? This doesn't mean you'll never get frustrated or upset again. We're humans, not robots. But it does mean you'll be better equipped to deal with those emotions when they arise. And remember, emotional engagement isn't a solo journey. Share your experiences with friends, family, or anyone who's on this Stoic path with you. Discuss what you're learning, the challenges you're facing, and the victories, no matter how small. This connection, this shared journey, is what brings depth and richness to our lives. So, there you have it. Embracing our emotions, understanding them, and choosing how we engage with them, that's the heart of Stoicism. It's about finding that sweet spot where we're neither slaves to our emotions nor denying their existence. It's about living fully, deeply, and truly, And in this crazy, beautiful world of ours, that's a pretty amazing way to be. 3. Keeping cool under pressure. Let's tackle something we've all faced at one point or another. Keeping cool under pressure. You know the drill. You're up against a deadline, or you're in a situation where everything seems to be going wrong, and it feels like you're a tea kettle about to whistle off the stove. But here's where our ancient pals, the Stoics, strut into the room with some wisdom that's as cool as a cucumber in a bowl of hot soup. Stoicism, at its core, is like the ultimate guide to chilling out when the heat's turned up. It's not about not caring or shrugging off responsibilities. Far from it. It's about recognizing what's in our control and what's not, and then focusing our energy so laser-sharp on the things we can influence that we become like emotional ninjas, calm, composed, and ready to tackle anything. Imagine you're Marcus Aurelius, not just a Stoic philosopher, but a Roman emperor dealing with a kingdom's worth of pressure. He'd sit down, take a deep breath, and remind himself, and now us, through his writings, it's not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Basically, it's not the pile of work, the ticking clock, or the unexpected problems that are the issue. It's how we're looking at them. So how do we flip the script and keep our cool? It starts with a little Stoic trick called reframing. Picture this. Instead of seeing that deadline as a giant boulder rolling towards you, Indiana Jones style, see it as a challenge, an opportunity to push your limits and grow. It's about saying, okay, this is tough, but it's my chance to shine. Suddenly you're not trapped, you're in charge. But here's the real secret sauce: preparation. Stoics were big on this. They'd actually visualize what could go wrong and plan how to handle it. It sounds a bit gloomy, but it's incredibly empowering. Think about it. Before you step into that high-stakes meeting or take on that big project, take a moment to consider the hurdles. Then, mentally prepare yourself to jump over them with grace. It's like having a game plan for your emotions and actions, making you unstoppable when pressure mounts. Now, let's not forget about the power of pausing. In our always-on world, taking a moment to just breathe can seem like a radical act, but that pause, that deep breath, is where clarity and strength bubble up from the depths of our frenzied minds. It's our reset button, giving us the space to step back and see the bigger picture. And in that space, we find our power to choose our response, rather than letting knee-jerk reactions rule the day. Keeping cool under pressure is also about embracing flexibility. Life, as the Stoics remind us, is unpredictable. Our plans, no matter how well crafted, can go sideways in a heartbeat. But instead of rigidly sticking to plan A, Stoicism teaches us to flow like water, adapting and finding new paths forward. It's about saying, okay, this didn't go as expected. What's my next move? So, there you have it. Keeping cool under pressure, Stoic style, isn't about suppressing feelings or pretending everything's okay when it's not. It's about understanding our power to shape our experiences, preparing ourselves for the challenges ahead, taking a breath to find clarity, and being as adaptable as the wind. Next time you feel the pressure mounting, remember our Stoic friends. Channel your inner Marcus Aurelius. Reframe the challenge, prepare, pause, and pivot as needed. And just like that, you're not just surviving the pressure, you're thriving through it with a cool head and a steady heart. 4. Looking inward for answers. All right, let's dive into something that's a game changer. Looking inward for answers. Now, in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, where every ping, ding, and ring demands our attention, it's easy to get lost in the external noise. But here's where Stoicism, our trusty ancient guide, shines a light on a path less traveled but oh so rewarding. It's about turning down the volume of the world and tuning into the quiet wisdom that lies within us. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardships with a stiff upper lip. It's a philosophy rich with practices aimed at understanding ourselves, our emotions, and our reactions to the world around us. The Stoics, think Marcus Aurelius with his meditations, Seneca with his letters, or Epictetus with his discourses, were all about the inner journey. They knew that the most profound answers to life's puzzles weren't out there in the noise and chaos, but within the depths of our own minds and hearts. Now, imagine you're facing a crossroads in life, be it a career decision, a personal relationship, or even just figuring out what you truly value. The world around you has plenty of opinions, advice, and noise, but the Stoics would say, hold up, let's take a step back. They'd encourage you to sit with yourself, to reflect deeply on your values, your principles, and your goals. It's like having a heart-to-heart with your inner self, asking, what really matters to me? What path aligns with my deepest truths? This practice of looking inward for answers does a couple of amazing things. First, it cuts through the clutter. It helps you distinguish between what's truly important and what's just noise. Second, it empowers you. When you base your decisions on your own values and insights, you're standing on solid ground, no matter how the winds of circumstance might blow. But how do we start this inward journey? Well, the Stoics were big on journaling and reflection. It's about carving out a quiet moment in your day, grabbing a notebook, and just writing. It's not about crafting a literary masterpiece. It's about honesty, asking yourself tough questions and being open to whatever answers may come. It's a dialogue with yourself, where no topic is off limits and no question is too small or too big. And here's the kicker. This inward journey isn't a one-time deal. It's a practice, a daily commitment to self-awareness and growth. It's about recognizing that we're works in progress, and every day brings a new opportunity to understand ourselves a little better. It's a path that's challenging, sure, but also incredibly rewarding. Because the more we understand ourselves, the clearer our decisions become, and the more aligned our lives are with our authentic selves. So, next time you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or just unsure, remember the Stoic wisdom of looking inward for answers. Embrace the quiet, embrace the questions, and most importantly, embrace the journey. Because the answers you've been searching for, they've been within you all along, waiting for that moment of quiet reflection to come to light. And remember, this isn't a solitary journey. Share your insights, your questions, and your discoveries with others. Stoicism teaches us that we're all part of a larger community, and by sharing our journeys, we not only deepen our own understanding, but also help others along their paths. So, let's keep the conversation going, exploring the inner landscapes of our minds and hearts, and discovering the wisdom that lies within. 5. Living your true self. Diving into the heart of what it means to truly live as your authentic self, we stumble upon a concept that's both ancient and incredibly relevant today. This idea isn't just about being honest with others, it's about being brutally honest with ourselves. And there's no group of thinkers who championed this more fiercely than the Stoics. You see, Stoicism isn't merely a set of guidelines for enduring hardship, it's a profound invitation to examine our lives deeply and to live in alignment with our true nature. The Stoics, like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, were all about peeling back the layers of societal expectations and personal illusions to reveal the raw, unfiltered core of who we are. They believed that happiness and virtue come from living in harmony with our essence, not from the accolades or possessions we accumulate along the way. Now let's talk about what it means to live your true self in the modern world. It's easy to get caught up in the roles we play, the professional, the friend, the family member, constantly shifting masks to meet the expectations of others. But at the end of the day, When the noise fades and we're left with our own thoughts, the question remains, are we living a life that's true to who we really are? Living your true self, according to Stoicism, means having the courage to confront your values, your desires, and your actions, and then asking the hard question, do these align with my true nature? It's about choosing authenticity over approval, substance over superficiality. It means saying no to things that don't serve your highest good, even if they're popular or expected of you. But here's the catch. Discovering and living your true self isn't a walk in the park. It requires introspection, honesty, and above all, courage. It's about asking yourself, what is truly important to me? And then having the guts to prioritize those things, even when it's difficult. It's about recognizing that the only person you're destined to become is the person you decide to be. So how can we embark on this journey of authentic living? Start by creating space for reflection in your day. This could be through journaling, meditation, or simply spending time in nature. Use this time to ask yourself what values and principles are non-negotiable for you, what makes you feel alive, what are you passionate about? And then, bit by bit, start aligning your life with these discoveries. Remember, this isn't about grand gestures, but the small, daily decisions that gradually steer your life in a direction that's true to you. And here's a Stoic pro tip. Reflect on your actions at the end of each day. Marcus Aurelius was a fan of this practice. He would ask himself what he did well and where he could improve, always with the aim of living more authentically the next day. This daily review isn't about self-criticism, but about continual growth and alignment with your true self. Living your true self is perhaps the most challenging and rewarding adventure you'll embark on. It's a path fraught with self-doubt, societal pressure, and fear of the unknown. But it's also a journey illuminated by moments of profound clarity, joy, and freedom. As you peel away the layers of who you're supposed to be, you'll discover the incredible person you truly are. So, embrace the Stoic wisdom of authenticity. Have the courage to live according to your principles, to follow your own path, and to be true to yourself in the deepest sense. After all, in the grand tapestry of existence, there's nothing more beautiful or powerful than being uniquely, unapologetically you. 6. Accepting what we can't change. Let's dive into a topic that's easier said than done. Accepting what we can't change. It's a principle that's central to Stoicism and something that frankly can be a tough pill to swallow. The Stoics, with their profound understanding of human nature and the universe, really hit the nail on the head with this one. They remind us that life, in all its unpredictability and chaos, isn't always going to bend to our will, no matter how much we might want it to. Think about it. How often have we found ourselves lying awake at night, stewing over something that's completely out of our control? Maybe it's the weather ruining our weekend plans, a friend's actions that disappointed us, or global events that feel overwhelmingly negative. It's human nature to want to control these things, to wish we could just wave a magic wand and align everything with our desires. But here's where the Stoic wisdom shines through, offering us a different path, the path of acceptance. Now, accepting what we can't change doesn't mean throwing our hands up and giving up on life, far from it. It's about recognizing the difference between what's within our control and what's not. The Stoics, like the wise Epictetus, often spoke about this distinction as the key to freedom and peace of mind. It's about saying, hey, I can't control the actions of others, the past, or the vast majority of things happening in the world. But what I can control is how I react to them, how I let them affect me. This practice of acceptance is liberating. It frees us from the heavy burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. It allows us to focus our energy on what truly matters and what we can actually influence, like our own actions, attitudes, and beliefs. Imagine the relief of letting go of that inner struggle, of no longer being at war with reality. That's the serenity the Stoics were talking about. But how do we get there? How do we start practicing this acceptance in our everyday lives? It begins with awareness. Start by observing your reactions to situations outside of your control. Notice that tightness in your chest, the frustration, or the anger bubbling up. Then, gently remind yourself of the Stoic wisdom. Is this within my control? If it's not, take a deep breath and visualize releasing that tension, that need to control the outcome. Another powerful tool is reflection. At the end of the day, take a few moments to reflect on the times you felt frustrated by things outside your control. Then, shift your focus to how you might respond differently next time, how you can accept these situations with grace and move forward without them weighing you down. Accepting what we can't change is also about embracing change itself as an inherent part of life. The Stoics viewed change as natural, as the universe's way of being. By aligning ourselves with this perspective, we begin to see change not as an obstacle but as a river we're all a part of, flowing forward with life's inherent unpredictability and beauty. So, let's challenge ourselves to practice this acceptance. When we start to feel that familiar tug of resistance against the things we cannot change, let's pause, take a breath, and remember the Stoic wisdom. Let's remind ourselves that our power lies not in controlling the external world, but in mastering our own inner world. And in that mastery, in that acceptance, lies our true freedom and peace. 7. Bouncing back stronger. The art of bouncing back stronger. A theme that's not only essential in our personal growth journey, but also deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Let's unpack this, shall we? Imagine you're chatting with a close friend over coffee, and they're sharing wisdom that's been passed down through centuries. Wisdom that's about resilience, strength, and the incredible capacity we all have to overcome adversity. That's where we're going with this. Stoicism, at its core, teaches us about the impermanence of our external circumstances and the incredible power of our internal responses. The Stoics, like the indomitable Marcus Aurelius or the insightful Seneca, were no strangers to adversity. They faced their fair share of challenges, from personal loss to the immense pressures of leadership, yet they found a way to not just endure these challenges, but to emerge from them stronger and wiser. How? Through the cultivation of resilience, a trait that's as relevant today as it was back then. Bouncing back stronger isn't about denying the pain or difficulty of our experiences. It's about acknowledging them, learning from them, and then using those lessons to fortify ourselves against future storms. It's the Stoic practice of turning obstacles into opportunities, a concept beautifully encapsulated by the phrase, "The obstacle is the way." Every setback, every challenge, is a chance to practice virtue, to grow in wisdom, and to deepen our understanding of what it means to live a good life. Now, let's get practical. How do we apply this Stoic wisdom to our own lives? It starts with perspective. Instead of viewing setbacks as insurmountable barriers, we can see them as tests of our resilience, as chances to apply our Stoic principles. When faced with a setback, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Embrace the growth mindset that sees failure not as a dead end, but as a stepping stone. Another key Stoic strategy is preparation. Just as a soldier trains for battle, we can prepare ourselves for life's inevitable challenges. This means developing a strong inner citadel, a fortress of the mind that can withstand whatever life throws at us. We build this citadel through daily practices like meditation, journaling, and reflection, through consciously cultivating gratitude and through reminding ourselves of our past victories over adversity. But perhaps the most powerful tool in the Stoic toolkit is the practice of amor fati, a Latin phrase that translates to love of fate. It's the idea of embracing whatever happens to us, not just as something to be endured, but as something to be welcomed. It's a radical acceptance that everything happens for a reason, and within every challenge lies the seed of growth and transformation. Bouncing back stronger also means leaning on our community. The Stoics knew the value of support and friendship in overcoming challenges. They believed in the power of shared wisdom and the strength that comes from knowing we're not alone in our struggles. So, don't hesitate to reach out, to share your journey with others, and to offer your strength to those who might need it. In the end, bouncing back stronger is about embodying the resilience, wisdom, and courage that the Stoics admired. It's about facing life's challenges with a calm mind and a steady heart, knowing that each one is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become a more virtuous, resilient person. So next time you're knocked down by life's twists and turns, remember the Stoic wisdom. Take a moment to reflect, learn, and then rise again, not just to where you were before, but to new heights of understanding, strength, and resilience. Remember, in the grand narrative of your life, every setback is a setup for a comeback, a chance to bounce back stronger than ever. 8. Knowing your why. Diving into the concept of knowing your why feels like unearthing a treasure that's been right under our feet, just waiting to be discovered. Imagine you're kicking back with a friend, the kind of friend who drops those nuggets of wisdom that just stick with you, changing the way you see things. Now, picture them introducing you to this Stoic gem, a philosophy that's not just ancient, but incredibly alive and kicking in its relevance to our lives today. Stoicism, with its profound depth and practicality, teaches us that knowing our why, our purpose, isn't just nice to have. It's the compass that guides us through life's storms and sunshine. The Stoics, think Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations, Seneca in his Moral Letters, or Epictetus with his Discourses, were all about this. They didn't just live life on the surface. They constantly sought the deeper meaning, the underlying purpose that informed their choices, actions, and ultimately, their legacy. Knowing your why is about peeling back the layers of what society says we should want, what our friends or family might expect of us, and getting down to the raw, unvarnished truth of what drives us. It's that burning question, what gets you out of bed in the morning? And no, it's not just the alarm clock or the promise of coffee. It's about what you're passionate about, what you're willing to stand for, and what you're striving to contribute to the world. This quest for purpose is like setting sail on the vast ocean of life with a map and compass in hand. Sure, you'll encounter storms, maybe even get lost a few times, but that why keeps you oriented, helps you recalibrate and adjust your course as needed. It's the difference between drifting aimlessly and moving with intention toward your chosen horizon. Now, how do we unearth this why? It starts with reflection, a key Stoic practice. This isn't about navel-gazing or getting lost in abstract thoughts. It's about honest, sometimes tough, conversations with yourself. What are your core values? What truly matters to you, so much so that you'd be willing to face challenges, push through fears, and keep going even when the going gets tough? And here's where Stoicism offers another golden nugget, the idea of living in accordance with nature, your nature. This means aligning your life with your innate talents, passions, and abilities. It's about recognizing where you can make the most impact, feel the most fulfilled, and experience the most joy. And guess what? When you're living in alignment with your why, it doesn't just benefit you, it ripples out, influencing others, contributing to the greater good, and weaving your unique thread into the fabric of the universe. Knowing your why also involves a bit of Stoic bravery. It requires the courage to make choices that are true to you, even when they go against the grain. It's about standing firm in your convictions, even when the world seems to push back. But the Stoics remind us that this kind of courage isn't just about boldness. It's about wisdom. The wisdom to know what's worth your time, energy, and heart. So, as you go about your day, your week, your life, take the time to ask yourself those big questions. Dive deep, get to know your why. And let that knowledge light up your path, guide your decisions, and shape your journey. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, knowing your why is what gives your life direction, purpose, and a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond the superficial. It's not just about making a living, it's about making a life that's truly worth living. And hey, as you're exploring your why, don't forget to share the journey. Conversations about our deepest drives and purposes can inspire others to reflect on their own, creating a ripple effect of introspection, growth, and connection. After all, we're all in this together, each of us navigating our unique paths, but connected by our shared quest for meaning and purpose. Let's keep the dialogue open, support each other, and celebrate the diverse, rich tapestry of whys that make up our world. 9. Letting go and living free. Embarking on the topic of letting go and living free feels like opening a window on a crisp morning, allowing a fresh breeze to sweep through a room that's been closed off for too long. Imagine you're in a deep, heart-to-heart conversation with a friend who's always had a way of shining a light on things that matter most. This time, they're bringing the timeless wisdom of Stoicism into the mix, showcasing how this ancient philosophy is not just about enduring life's hardships, but embracing life's freedom through the act of letting go. Stoicism, with its rich heritage from thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, teaches us a powerful lesson in simplicity. Holding on tightly to what we cannot control is the root of our unrest, while letting go is the path to true freedom. It's a philosophy that doesn't shy away from the reality of life's unpredictability and our limited control over external events. Instead, it offers a liberating perspective, focusing on our internal reactions and what we can control is where our true power lies. Letting go and living free is about understanding that clinging to outcomes, to people, or to our rigid expectations is like trying to grasp water. It's futile and leaves us feeling exhausted and empty-handed. The Stoics encourage us to examine our attachments, asking ourselves why we cling so tightly and whether these attachments are truly serving us or simply chaining us down. This journey of letting go is not about indifference or giving up on our dreams and desires. Quite the opposite. It's about engaging with life more wholly, more deeply, by releasing the weight of unneeded burdens. It's about distinguishing between what truly matters, our virtues, our character, our actions, and what doesn't. External accolades, the opinions of others, the relentless chase for more. One practical Stoic exercise for embracing this freedom is the practice of reflection, particularly in the evening. Take a moment to review your day, not just the events that unfolded, but your responses to them. Where did you hold on too tightly? Where could you have let go a little more? This isn't about self-judgment, but about gently guiding yourself towards a lighter way of being. Another aspect of letting go is accepting the flow of life, understanding that everything is temporary. The Stoics remind us that change and loss are natural parts of existence. By embracing impermanence, we can appreciate our moments, our connections, and our experiences more fully, not with a sense of desperation, but with gratitude and openness. Living free in the Stoic sense is about cultivating inner peace and resilience so that no matter what life throws our way, we remain unshaken. It's about making peace with the present, knowing that it's the only moment truly within our grasp. This freedom is profound. It's not an absence of responsibility or care, but a deeper engagement with life, free from the unnecessary burdens we've placed upon ourselves. So, as we navigate the complexities of our lives, let's keep this Stoic wisdom close to our hearts. Let's practice letting go of the things that tether us to unrest, and embrace the freedom that comes from living in accordance with our true nature. Remember, it's in the act of releasing that we find our wings. It's in the art of surrendering that we discover how to truly fly. And in sharing this journey with those around us, we not only multiply our own sense of freedom, but also invite others to explore what it means to live freely. The path of Stoicism is one of community and shared growth, where each individual's liberation contributes to a collective elevation. So, let's talk about it, share our struggles and our victories, and celebrate the beautiful, liberating journey of letting go and living free together. As we draw this journey to a close, remember that the essence of Stoicism isn't found in the pages of ancient texts, but in the lived moments of our everyday lives. It's in the quiet reflection of our evenings, the conscious choices of our days, and the freedom we embrace in letting go. This philosophy, as ancient as it is, speaks directly to the heart of our modern struggles, offering a beacon of light in the chaos of our times. It teaches us that, amidst the noise and haste, there exists a serene center within each of us, a place where we can find peace, clarity, and strength, no matter the storms that rage outside. So, as we part ways today, I invite you to carry these lessons with you. Let them be your guide, your compass, and your comfort. And remember, the path to wisdom is not a sprint, but a marathon. A journey that unfolds one step at a time, one day at a time, enriched by every challenge, every setback, and every victory. If you found resonance in the words shared today, if you feel a spark within urging you to explore deeper, I encourage you to watch our playlist on the screen. Dive into the stories, the reflections, and the practices that can transform the way you view the world, the way you engage with life, and ultimately, the way you understand yourself. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until we meet again, may your path be guided by the light of Stoic wisdom, leading you to a life of purpose, peace, and profound freedom.